Good day, everyone. Welcome to Journey and Awakening of the Anointed with Mr. Buzz. This is the channel of truth and authenticity, and I talk about just about everything. So if you like truth and authenticity, then like and subscribe, smash that like button for me, hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified every day when I put out videos, and I promise you lots of truth and authenticity. So, let's talk about demons. It's the conclusion I've come to in regards to demons is that pretty much all mental illness that we look at, we see somebody on the street, they look mentally ill, they're jumping around screaming like a crazy person. We think, oh, they just got a mental illness or they're on drugs or whatever. I've come to the conclusion that almost every one of these people is demon infested. This is actually what mental illness is, okay? And in ancient days, they knew this. They didn't blame everything on mental illness. They knew that when someone was acting that way, they had a demon problem, not a mental illness. Demons cause the mental illness. They infest the person, take them over and possess them, and then the person is showing the characteristics of the demon, and some demons are just whacked. I mean, I've met some demons, and some of them are just, they're all different. I mean, I met one demon I had a actual intelligent conversation with, and it was really freaky. It was a guy totally possessed by the demon, and no one knew he was possessed. I was the first person to figure it out. When he saw me, the demon surfaced completely. And it was obvious that I was not talking to the guy anymore. I was talking to the demon inside him. And he had probably a 5 to 6, maybe 7-minute conversation with me. Told me that I was an earth angel, a human angel, and that he knew of me from heaven. And he told me all this really wild stuff. He told me about how they were expanding the borders of hell, how there was the war that was going on, and how they knew that they were probably going to lose, but they were going to fight right till the death, till the end, and it was wild. I had literally a conversation with a rational demon. I'm not saying everything he told me was true, because demons lie and deceive and whatever, but he wasn't like one of these demons that's growling and acting aggressive. He was really calm and talked intelligently, which was, I didn't know any demons were like that, but this one was. Then there's other ones who growl and spit and sputter and drool all over themselves, and I mean, that's what most people expect from them, and that's what you get usually. There's two in particular. I walk around this town that I live in every day. I cover several miles every day. I do a lot of walking. So I've gotten to know the homeless population a little bit, people that hang out on the street. You get your skateboarders as well. You get all these different groups of people, right? And I'm getting to know them a little bit, know who they are anyway and what they're up to. There's two mentally ill people that everybody thinks they're mentally ill, who are just completely demon infested. One I talked about in a video the other day. I triggered this demon, well, these demons. I think he had a legion of demons in him, by showing him a Bible. And as soon as he saw the Bible, he flipped. He just went crazy. Wouldn't stop screaming and yelling. I had to leave. Like, I had to take off, and he was still yelling at me till I was out of earshot and couldn't hear him anymore. He just went off because he saw that Bible. So then there's another one, a female. And everybody's talked about her, and she's mentally ill and this and that. She's not mentally ill at all. She has got a serious demon problem. She smiles permanently, okay? There's a smile on her face. Her head is tilted. She has a stare. She just looks one certain direction, and she smiles, this big old smile, and it never leaves her face. And she just walks around staring the same direction. And every once in a while, you'll see the smile even get bigger. Something excites her, right? Or you will see the smile get stressed because I walk by her and I have this in my pocket. I never ever leave the house without this. Okay, and I recommend you don't either. If you're walking around, if you're one of the anointed, and you're walking around town, and you know of demons, like demon-infested people that are around, maybe they get the homeless people. Demons go after homeless people all the time because they're easier to possess. Because they're into booze and drugs, and that's a way for the demon to get in. And plus, they don't have too much will to live. Usually, they give up, and so there's not much of a fight in them, and the demons have an easy time possessing them. So, if you're walking around town and there's demon-infested people around, carry a Bible. I'm not kidding. Just the fact that I have this right in my pocket. It fits right in the pocket of my hoodie, and I can feel its power when I get near these people. They know right away. They know just from what comes off of me. But when I get close to them and I get this Bible, it's like it repels them. They can't even get close to me. It's true. This book, if you have a Bible with you, it's just as good as having like a weapon when it comes to demons and stuff. If you took that and put it right on their face or something, it would probably burn them. I'm not sure what it would do, but they'd scream for sure. They'd scream and thrash all over the place. It's unreal what this book does. You can just show it to them and they'll run away. They'll literally run away. So, don't be confused when it comes to mental illness versus a demon-infested person. I would almost go as far as to say, I don't really think mental illness is even a real thing. I think it's always something demonic. I think and that's what they thought, thousands of years ago. Every instance of that, they blamed on something demonic. I agree. I think that's correct. I think all these mentally ill people we see in mental institutions. There's another theory too on those mentally ill people that they put in mental institutions. A lot of shamans say that they are the shamans that are getting locked up in the mental institutions. They're not mentally ill. They're not hearing voices in their heads. They're in touch with the spirit realm. Okay, they're spiritual people, and they're in tune with things that the rest of the population is not. So we think that they're imagining these things in the air. Maybe they're seeing things and flying around, but the things aren't really there. The things are actually there. It's just that we can't see them, and they can. Okay, so mentally ill people, what we call mentally ill people, in my opinion, is one of two things. Either very spiritual people in tune with the spirit realm, or they are demon-infested, and that's what's making them act mentally ill. This is just my opinion. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to agree. That's up to you. But that is my honest opinion. And the more I deal with these supposedly mentally ill people on the street, there's actually a bunch of them. That's the two that I mentioned are the most obvious ones that I see. But there's others too. There's one guy that sounds like he's got one of those, you know how they have that thing sometimes when they've had a tracheotomy and they have to press something and talk? He's got a voice like that, but it's no tracheotomy or nothing. It's just his voice is like that. It sounds like it's going through something electronic before it comes out of him. It's really bizarre. Demon infested completely, and he just runs around town screaming his head off all day long. That's all he does. He just yells and screams 24/7, and everybody thinks he's mentally ill. You look in his eyes, demon, big time demon. Everybody is mistaken it. I understand why, but that's a terrible mistake to make, to think somebody's mentally ill when they actually have a demon problem, because if you get the demon out of them, they're fine as can be. They'll go back to normal. See, they're not getting the help they need. They need a priest. They need somebody, a hardcore Christian, to cast those demons out. And some demons, here's something that I learned from watching Tucker Carlson's show just a couple of weeks ago. They had the director, I guess he was, of The Chosen, was either a movie or a series or something, but it was called The Chosen. It was about us, basically, about the anointed ones. And he was talking about Christians being able to cast out demons and stuff. And he was talking about fasting. And he said there's a certain type of demon that Jesus' disciples had trouble casting out. It wouldn't work. They did it with all these other people and got the demons out of them. But when it came to this one group, the demons wouldn't go. And Jesus said, oh, that's a different kind. The only way to get rid of those is through prayer and fasting. So the person doing the casting out has to fast and get themselves in a real spiritual state, because that kind of demon is called a strong man. And a strong man is actually what attacked me at 11 years old. So I know about these demons. They're the ones that look like Mr. Clean, literally. And to get rid of one of them, it's not like the regular ones. You can cast out most demons really quickly, easily. These ones will not go unless you do prayer and fasting and get in this really highly spiritual state, and then you can cast these ones out. Maybe some people never get them out. I don't know. They have a real strong hold. That's why they call them strong men. They talk about it in the Bible. They're called strong men. So, mental illness, in my opinion, is actually demonic possession. I don't really think mental illness exists as we think. I think it's always that. Can I prove it? No, I can't. But there would be a way. Take all these mentally ill people and start casting demons out of them. Get an exorcist to start really, whacking these demons out of there. And I bet you a whole lot of mentally ill people will suddenly be not mentally ill. That's how we could prove this. So we just need a bunch of mentally ill people to agree to be exorcised, I guess, that's the way to prove what I'm saying. So, anyway, I'll leave it there. Not everyone is going to agree with me, what I said there, but that's totally fine. It's a free world. You can have your own opinion, and I can have mine. That's the beauty of it. So thanks for watching, and remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, the Lord of Lords, and the King of Kings.